Welcome to Data Visualization course. In this course, we mainly cover data visualization in Tableau and Python. In Python, we mainly cover data visualization with the help of Matplotlib and Seaborn libraries. Now, let us understand the importance of data visualization. First, it will enhance the data understanding. Any visual representation of data will provide a clear and intuitive way in order to comprehend the information. And also it will simplify the complex data. Very large and complex data sets can be overwhelming in order to comprehend. Data visualization simplifies the complexity by distilling vast amounts of information into easily understandable visual representations. And also it will increase the data engagement and retention. So visual representations have a higher engagement factor when compared to textual or tabular data. Humans are naturally inclined to process this type of visual information more effectively. So when you present data visually, users are more likely to engage with the information, which leads to better retention and understanding of the insights being conveyed. Okay. This is how Tableau desktop looks like. You can see on the left panel, it completely shows you to connect the data to a file or to a server. And here this is going to show you some saved data sources. So also here on the right side, you can observe if you want to open any workbook, you can open it. Okay, for example, I have already created a workbook, then I can just load it. Okay, and that will take you to the corresponding workbook. Clear? So this is a workbook which contains a dashboard. Okay, so these things you will learn basically after completion of the course. You will be able to do this type of dashboards. Okay, and that is about loading the existing workbook. Now coming to the left panel, that is connecting the files here. So you can connect with the Microsoft Excel sheet file, or you can connect with text file, or you can connect with JSON file, and so on, even a PDF file or Microsoft Access. So there are many such. Okay, you just need to click on the respective file and load it. This is one way. And for example, if you want to search for the data in the Tableau server, you can click on Tableau server and you have to give the URL for the respective server. Then you click on connect. So it will connect to that Tableau server, and then you can load the data which is regarding that particular Tableau server. Okay. And here comes connecting to a server, and there are various options available to different types of servers. For example, if I click on more here, so that will show you different servers. Okay, starting from you can see Amazon server, Azure, Databricks, Oracle, IBM, MySQL, Microsoft. So different servers it is going to show you. And whenever you want to bring the tables or database from those particular servers, you can just select the respective one. For example, if you want to bring data from the Salesforce, you just need to click on Salesforce and connect to it. Similarly, to get data from MySQL, you just need to click here. Okay. Anyway, in this session, I'll show you how to open Microsoft Excel. Okay. So for example, I have an Excel sheet. I want to load Olympic athletes related information. Okay. So then that will take you to this particular sheet. Okay. Where you can see the entire Excel sheet corresponding data is shown here. Okay. So Here if you want to select all the rows, then you can select all the rows, then all these rows will be displayed here. Okay, for example, the number of rows are 8618. I am entering 8618, then that will load all the rows here. Okay, now let us consider how to load text data into Tableau. So for this purpose I am taking HR analytics data, and this file has got various columns like age, attrition, business, travel, daily rate. So there are many columns available, and this is the complete data related to this HR analytics data. So let's see how many rows are there. Okay, so you can see here, up to here there are many rows available. Okay, so 1471 rows. In fact, very first row is actually denoting the column name, so you can consider 1470 rows are available. Okay, so let us load this particular file now. Okay, so just click on this text file and load this HR analytics data, and here you have to select this option, use data interpreter. It might be able to clean your text file workbook, so just select this. Okay, and it will update this data. You can see there are many columns available, and all these columns are clearly loaded from the text file, CSV file. Okay, so if you want to clean the data, or if you want to remove some columns also, you can do it. Okay, so here for example I want to just hide this particular column, age column I want to hide, then I can click on this hide button. Okay, and similarly, for example, I want to rename one particular column name, I can rename by clicking on this. So I'll call it as daily charges. Okay, now the same thing will be updated in the sheet. Okay, here in the worksheet. So in the worksheet you will see daily charges but not daily rate. Clear? At the same time, age is already removed from the table. Age column is already removed, so you won't be able to see age in these measures and dimensions. Okay. Now, similarly, whatever action that you perform here will be reflected in the worksheet. So initially, to just clean the data, or if you want to add any filters also, you can add on this particular data. In this video, I'll show you how to load Microsoft Excel sheet corresponding data into Tableau. So first click on this Microsoft Excel file and select the respective Excel file. For example, I want to get data from Olympic athletes, and that will open a table like this, and also it will show you sheets. Okay, now you have to go to that particular sheet in order to work with this data. Okay, so let's click on this sheet, and that will immediately show you the list of measures and dimensions of the table. Okay, so you can see these are all considered as dimensions, and all the measures are indicated with hash symbol. Okay, so now for example, if you want to create a graph, you just need to select the respective dimension, measure into columns, rows. Okay, so the idea is you can see here these are all different columns that are available in the table. So you can see what is the table containing here. So how many columns are there? Athlete is one column. Okay. Second column is age. Third column is country. Fourth column is year. Fifth column is closing ceremony date. Similarly, the other columns are sport, gold medals, silver medals, bronze medals, and then total medals. Okay. So this is the data of the sheet, right? Now, if you go to the sheet, the same column names are shown here. Yes or no? All these column names are respective column names, and additionally you will have generated latitude, longitude, because it is working with country. Okay. Now let us create a basic chart using Tableau. So first you have to load the data set. So let us suppose I want to load Microsoft Excel sheet, which is Olympic athletes. So once we load it, we'll get to this particular screen where you can observe what are different columns involved in this particular table and its corresponding data. Okay. So let us click on this sheet 1. Then you will see this particular screen where in the tables you will observe there are different column names available, so which are considered as dimensions and measures. So measures are like this: age, number, okay, that is bronze medals, gold medals, all these are all considered as measure names. And this latitude and longitude are automatically generated because the table contains a column which is country. Okay. And that involves this latitude longitude related, so it will generate automatically. Okay. Now, in order to generate a graph, for example, understand the requirement here. Okay. So let us suppose I want to clearly compute number of gold medals. Okay. I want to compute the number of gold medals obtained in each country. Okay. So this is the task. I want to find out number of gold medals obtained in each country. So for this purpose, you require country, and also you want number of gold medals. That measure you bring into rows here. Okay. Then it will generate this graph, and the graph clearly contains number of gold medals that are obtained country wise. Okay. So by default, suppose if you are trying to click on the horizontal bars, that will produce the entire graph in horizontal graph format. Again, whenever you want to assign a different color for each of this, okay, based on the country, you can bring this country into colors. Okay. Then you will see each country has got a different color. Okay. Now let us click on this stacked bar representation. Then the entire diagram will be converted into stacked bar representation. Again, here also, if you want to separate color of each country, then bring this country into color. Okay, just like this. And later we can click on other type of graphs like tree maps. So that will show you again number of gold medals that are obtained in each country. Okay. So whenever I hover on this, it will show you clearly how many gold medals are there. Like 552 gold medals for United States. Germany has got 223 gold medals. Canada has got 168, and so on like this. Suppose you want to assign a separate color for each of this state, that is country here. So you can bring country into color. Then you will observe different colors are obtained here. Okay. And similarly, you can click on this table representation, which is text table representation, and this is representing heat maps. Okay. Again, to have a separate color for each of the country, you can just bring this country into colors. Okay. And if you want to see highlight tables, you can click on this highlight tables. Then this is symbol maps representation. Okay. So you can see this is a symbol map, this is maps, and this is representing, okay, symbol maps, and this is pie chart representation, okay, and this is box and whisker plots, and then followed by packed bubbles. Even here also you want to assign a different color for each of the country. Bring this country onto color, okay, that will give different color for each country, okay. So this is how you can generate basic graphs, okay. And this show me panel has got list of all possible graphs from this data, okay, from for this particular problem statement of finding the number of gold medals obtained in each country. So these graphs are suitable, okay, and we'll see later for each graph how you have to construct based on the given data, okay. So that we'll see in the upcoming videos, okay. See, for this same example of constructing bubble chart, later you can also format the title, okay. Let's see how you can format the title. So I will assign bold letters here, okay, and after that I'll click on this, it will come to the center. Now we can select whatever font you want, okay. So let us suppose I'll go for this particular font as a heading, okay, and I'll apply it and click on OK. So now you can observe the heading here, change in font size, appearance, and also the position is centered clearly here. Now you can also assign a background color to this title, okay. I'll format it, just right click on this and click on format title. That will open this window. Now select shading, okay. So let us suppose I'll select this one. Then you can see immediately the background color is assigned as red. Suppose if I assign pink, it will look like this, okay. I think this is better, so we'll keep this. And border, so you can also assign a border line to this heading. Let us suppose with this thickness I'll assign the border, okay. And again you can assign a new color to the border. For example, I'll assign this color, okay, just like this, okay. So this is how you can actually format the heading, so just like this, clear. And if you want to increase the font size, again let us suppose I'll go for 924 font size, okay. Then you will look like this, okay. So any doubt in this? This is how you can actually format the heading by assigning colors, okay. In this video we'll see how to create a bar chart in Tableau. For this you have to connect to the data source. Let us suppose if you want to open a Microsoft Excel file, then you can open like this, and you just need to open all the sheets of the workbook. For example, if I want to use two tables, let us suppose list of orders, and I'll click on this, double click on this. Also I'll take sales targets, and you can see there is no default join operation here. For example, I'll remove this and take the second table, orders breakdown, and you can see by default there is a common field between both these tables which is getting joined, yes or no. So you can observe here this is the list of orders and orders breakdown corresponding join operation, okay. Now we'll go to the sheet, and you can observe here the list of orders table containing these columns, and order breakdown has got these columns, and these are all measure names. So there are dimensions as well as there are measure names like this. Okay, now in order to create a bar chart, first take this category into the columns and then bring this measure called sales into rows. Now this will clearly show you a bar chart containing category wise sales. Okay, so to have more insights into this, you just need to select the category and drop it into the color field. Okay, so I'll place this category into color so that you can see here a different color for each type of category. Okay, and also I'll do sales. I'll bring sales into label so that you can see here clearly the label is mention how many sales happening category wise, that is clearly mentioned here. Okay, now for example, if I want to change the width of this bar, I can go to size and just modify here. Okay, so when I do like this, the size getting decreased. So when I increase size, you can observe the result. Okay, so this is how you can start manipulating with the help of size in order to modify the size of the bars that are displayed on the bar chart. Okay, like this. Now we'll generate different types of bar charts like horizontal bar chart, stacked bar chart, and side by side bar chart. So they all are available in this show me panel. You can see here. To get horizontal bars, you have to place 0 or more dimensions, also 1 or more measures. Similarly, for stack bars, you have to take 1 or more dimensions, 1 or more measures. For side by side bars, you have to take 1 or more dimensions, 1 or more measures. Requires at least 3 fields. Okay. So overall, I can understand here to get any chart, you require here 1 or more dimensions, 1 or more measures, and at least 3 fields, especially for side by side bars. And once if you satisfy this condition, it is automatically applicable for other charts like stacked bars you can generate, horizontal bars also you can generate. So my idea is to take overall 2 dimensions and 1 measure. Okay, so first take 2 dimensions like category I will take and also subcategory. Now I'll take 1 measure. For example, the measure is sales, and immediately you can see it is generating a horizontal bars. Okay, so when you click on this horizontal bars, it will generate like this. For example, I want to differentiate within the subcategory. Okay, let us suppose if I place this subcategory into colors, it will differentiate with different colors. Okay, for example, if you remove this and you are placing category onto colors, it will differentiate with different colors among the categories. So I think it's better to place and differentiate within the subcategory. So I'll go for placing this subcategory onto the colors so that I can clearly see the difference between different subcategories and their corresponding sales here. Okay, so this is clearly horizontal bars, right? Now the moment I click on the stacked bars, the entire data gets represented in the stacked bars format. Okay, so you can see here in the stacked bars, this color is representing furniture, and in this furniture subcategory bookcases is represented, and later the subcategory is chairs here, and this is representing furnishings, and this is for tables. Like this, overall you can observe this is representing furniture. Okay, so if you want, you can also expand this graph, okay, and change the size of the bar. Like for example, if you want to increase, you can do like this. If you want to decrease, you can do like this. Okay, so within this category, all the subcategories are represented along with their sales. Yes or no? So for example, I also want profits. In that case, you can actually select profit and place it into detail. Okay. So the moment I hover, you can observe it is showing profits also in each subcategory. Okay. Yes or no? Just like this. Suppose if you don't want, then you can actually remove that also. Okay. So I'll remove this. Now this is a chart which is representing stacked bars. Now let us go for side by side bars representation. You just need to hover on this and click. Okay. Immediately it will show you the entire representation of the particular side by side bars. In this side by side bars, you can observe here everything is represented side by side. You can see all the categories are represented side by side, and within the category also all subcategories are represented side by side. Okay, so these are all different subcategories, and if you hover on this, it is showing clearly the sales of the category and respective subcategory. Yes or no? So this is how you can generate different bar charts. In this video, we'll plot a line chart. First, understand what are the requirements of the line chart. Just go to the show me panel and hover on the lines chart. It can be lines continuous or lines discrete, whatever you want to generate. So you can observe for both lines continuous or lines discrete, the requirement is you have to keep one date, zero or more dimensions, and one or more measures. So to consider one date, I'll take shipment date into columns, and then to consider one measure, okay, one or more measures, I'll take profit into the rows. Now you can see here how the profits happened from 2011 to 2015 based on this shipment date. So you can see this is year of shipment date 2011, and this is the profit $53,942, and you can observe this is 2012 and the profits was $65,400, and then in 2013 the profit is $77,188. Later in 2014 the profit is $84,242, and if you see here in 2015 the profit is only $2,468. So this is how you can identify the profit based on the shipment date. Okay, and this is representing discrete line chart. If you click on this, it will show you continuous line chart. So you can see here again from 2011. Okay, this is representing 2012 profits, and here you will get 2013 profits, and then 2014 profits, and so on. This is showing 2015 profits. Okay, based on the ship date. For example, if I remove this and take the order date, okay, so then it is going to show you the results of sum of profits based on the order date. Okay, so you can see here. Because if you observe, in the order date there is no 2015 year, okay, but in the shipment date there is 2015 year, okay. So that's why you can see clearly it is increasing. Yes or no? All the profits were increasing from 2011 to 2014. Earlier also we have observed the same, but there is a drop down in the profits when you consider 2015 year. So that is the difference between the previous chart and this chart. For example, if I remove this and bring back the shipment date, then you will observe. So this curve it is showing clearly. Okay. In the order date, all the dates are up to 2014 only. But in case of shipment dates, it is also showing 2015. So the profit in 2015 is low. That is why the curve is like this. Okay. So this is how overall we can generate line chart. Now we'll see how to create a area chart. So first click on show me. So that will show you the available graphs, and out of which you go to the area chart. Then you will see how you can plot area chart. So one thing is you have to take one date, then 0 or more dimensions, followed by one or more measures. So this is the case for both continuous and discrete. Okay. So you can also select from here. For example, if I want to plot area plot, okay, then I'll just quickly consider one date as order date into columns, okay, and then I'll bring one measure into rows. So what are the different measures available here? You can see discount, profit, quantity, sales. These are all different measures available. Let us suppose I'll take quantity this time into the rows. So that will immediately plot area chart. So this is representing area chart, which is clearly continuous representation of the area chart. And here you can see this is 2011 year, and the quantity supplied is 5484. In year 2012 it is 7099. In the year 2013 it is 7938, and in the year 2014 it is 9833. Okay. So similarly you can select quickly the area chart discrete. So this is another way of plotting area chart, okay, which is using discrete points. Now for example, I want to show the profit attained also while I am hovering over these years. Then I can select profit and place it into detail, okay. So then from now onwards you will see the details containing profit also. So 2011 profit, 2012, 2013, 2014. Okay. Suppose you want to see also the sales happened in each year along with this. So then you can actually generate sales corresponding detail also here. Okay. And in fact, you can also generate multiple area charts on the same sheet. For example, I want to see the sales happened year wise. So you can observe this graph is plotted between order date and quantity, whereas this graph is plotted between order date and sales. So both these graphs are area graphs. Okay. So when you click on this, it will show you another representative, which is continuous points, okay, and this is for discrete points. For example, I want to see the profit obtained, okay, how much profit they have obtained in each year in a separate graph. Okay, then I'll select this and place here. Then you can see there are totally three graphs. So one graph between order date and quantity, another graph between order date and sales, and another graph between order date and profit. Okay, so like this you can start generating area charts or area graphs. Now let us generate circle views and side by side circles. So if you just hover on circle views, it will show you to generate any circle view you require one or more dimensions as well as one or more measures. Suppose if you want to generate side by side circles, similarly you want one or more dimensions, one or more measures, and it requires at least three fields. Okay, so let us first select one or more measure and one or more dimension. So to get one or more dimension, for example, I'll go for subcategory into columns. Okay, and sales into rows. Okay, now to generate circles, if I click on this circle views, it will immediately show me like this. Okay, so each of the subcategory is represented with a different color, and all these circles are representing their corresponding sales. Okay, suppose if you want to see the details of the profit also, you can just place this profit onto detail. So when you hover, you will also see profit corresponding details for each of the subcategory along with the sales. Okay, now for example, to generate side by side circles, you have to take at least three fields. So at least three fields in the sense I will also take region onto columns. Okay, now it is going to show me currently this circle views. So this is entirely the circle views representing different regions corresponding sales for each subcategory. Okay, so you can see this is the region, north region, and this is representing south region, and this is representing central region. So if you look at the legends here, then you will understand this is central, north, south. So these are the three different regions, and across each region it is showing different subcategories. Okay, and their corresponding sales here. Yes or no? For example, accessories, their corresponding sales are shown here across central, north, south. Okay, similarly, next for example, if you consider chairs here. Okay, so this is south region corresponding profit and sales, and this is north region corresponding profit and sales, and this is central region corresponding profit and sales for this subcategory called chairs. Okay, and so on. If you consider, this is tables corresponding sales profit for south region. Okay, and this is for north region, and this is for central region. You might be wondering in the profit why this is minus 13,385. So minus indicates there is some loss. Yes or no? Okay, so this is how you can generate corresponding circle view. Now you can also generate side by side circles. I'll click on this side by side circles, where you can see it is categorized based on subcategory as well as region. Okay, so first comes the very first region, that is central region. Next one is north region, and the next one is south region corresponding sales across different subcategory of items. Yes or no? And every time it is clearly showing the details here. Okay, central, subcategory, profit, sales, everything is shown here. Okay, so because we have already selected subcategory onto colors, and profit is selected onto details. and sales are placed onto rows? Yes or no? So this is how you can actually generate different regions corresponding sales across different items, which is subcategory of items. Okay. So all this is done with the help of two types of graphs here. One is circle views, the other one is side by side circles. Now let us see how to generate scatter plot. Okay. So look at this. Scatter plot can be generated by taking 0 or more dimensions and 2 to 4 measures. Okay. Remember, 0 or more dimensions you can take, 2 to 4 measures you have to take. Okay. Let us suppose I'm not going to take any dimensions because 0 dimensions will work, and I'll take minimum of measures, like 2 measures I'll take. So one is quantity, the other one is sales. Okay. So now I'll click on this scatter plot, and you can observe here sales and corresponding quantity. Okay. This is how it is showing. For example, if I show here region wise, okay, then you will see the scatter plot respectively here. Okay. So region wise, this is going to show you, and this circle is representing central region, and this square is representing north region, and upon which there is an overlap with the south region. Yes or no? So for example, I'll keep this here, then you see the result. The graphs are generated based on the region wise. So this is central region, this is north region, and this is south region, and the corresponding okay, scatter plot is like this. Clear? So let us suppose I'll try to take one more dimension. Okay. So the other dimension is based on the country. Okay. Then you will see here country wise sales and their quantity. Okay. Is clearly shown here. For example, if I remove this region from this, then you will see the entire scatter plot will be like this. Okay. You can see the scatter plot. So it is clearly showing country wise sales and their corresponding quantity. So if I hover on this, it is showing United Kingdom quantity is 4,917 and sales is 4,20,497. Okay. So in the same way, you will see different countries, their corresponding quantity and sales. Okay. Suppose if I move further and I also select city here, okay, then you will observe like this, city wise. For example, if I remove this completely, okay, then you click on this scatter plot, then you will observe the entire graph showing city wise quantity and sales. Okay, this is London. Okay, London city has got highest sales. Yes or no? So both in terms of quantity and sales, you can observe London has got quantity as 820 and sales as $69,230. Okay. In the same way, the next maximum sales goes to Vienna and then Berlin. Okay. So this is clearly representing city-wise sales and quantity. Okay. And this region is very thick because there are many cities which have performed similarly in terms of quantity and sales. That's why this region is very thick. Okay. So for example, if I remove this city, okay, instead of city, if I'm taking state into detail, okay, then you will see this particular scatter plot. Okay. So state wise entire sales and quantity will be shown here. Okay, and also I am representing country related details here. Okay, so this is how you can plot scatter plot or scatter graph. Now let us generate pie chart. So just hover on this pie chart and understand how to generate this pie chart. So you can generate pie chart if you select one or more dimensions and one or two measures. Okay, so let us suppose I'll take two dimensions and two measures for this example. Okay, so consider two dimensions like region and segment. Okay, and also two measures like sales and profit. Okay, now I'll click on this pie chart and you can observe here clearly. Okay, segment wise pie charts are appearing here for consumer, this is for corporate, and this is for home office. These are all different segments available. Let us suppose I'll remove this segment from here. Okay, then you will see there is only one pie chart. So if you look at this pie chart, it has got different regions like central region. Okay, you can see central, north, south. Okay, and this is representing some of sales here. Okay, so highest sales goes to central region, isn't it? And even the highest profit. And later it goes to the north region, second highest profit and sales. And then third highest is for south region, both in terms of profit and sale. Okay. In fact, there are only three regions in which it is divided. So let us suppose I am going to remove this from here. Okay, region. So instead of going for region, I'll take country here. So country is selected into color. Okay. Then you will see the proper pie chart here. Okay. So you will observe there are various cities, various countries available like starting from Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and so on up to United Kingdom. So this is the entire pie chart. Okay, so that is clearly displaying the details of profit and sales in each of the country. Okay, suppose if I remove this country from the detail, from the colors, and suppose if I am picking a state and placing into color. Okay, then you will see country wise and also within the country state wise a different color is associated, yes or no? So in Austria's country, again it has given different colors to different states within the Austria country. Okay, so this is how you can generate. For example, if I remove this and even I'm removing this. Okay, so this time I'll simply take city. Okay, I'll take city and place it into color. So now it is completely based on country, and within the country different states, and within the state different cities. So this pie chart is much more complex compared to the previous ones, right? So it is clearly showing like this because on the right side you can see here clearly different country, and within the country there are different states, and within the state there are different cities. So all these are all represented clearly in the same graph. Okay, which is pie chart. Okay, just like this. So let us suppose I'll remove all these state, city and country. Okay, now I'll generate a pie chart based on the category. Okay, so based on the category I'm going to show you sales. Okay, and the sales representing the pie chart. Okay, so there are totally how many categories? You can see there are totally three categories. One category is office supplies, second one is technology, and third one is furniture. Okay, like this. For example, if I remove this category from here and if I select subcategory, then you will see pie chart divided into much more types. Okay, because you can observe there are various subcategories like accessories, art, chairs, tables, paper, like this. Okay, so these are all representing the respective subcategory corresponding profit and sales. Okay, so like this you can generate pie chart whenever you need. In this video I'll show you how to create a histogram in Tableau. So first let me connect to Microsoft Excel sheet Amazing Mart. Now I'll use this data interpreter to load these sheets, and once they're loaded I'll just drag this list of orders here and I'll double click on this. Okay, because I want to perform join operation between list of orders and order breakdown. So I'll place here, automatically it will perform this join operation because there are common columns between these two tables. So go to this worksheet 1. Okay, now the idea is to create a histogram. In order to create a histogram, you can see this is the, okay, so let us first see histogram. Now for this histogram you have to consider one measure. Okay, you have to consider one measure. So one measure is, I'll go for sales. Okay, and I'll click on this histogram. So that will show you clearly count of sales. Okay, all the count of sales, clear, and that is generated with the help of a histogram. For example, if I clearly remove this, okay, and if I bring profits into this and click on this histogram chart, so this is the complete measure of the profits. Okay, you can see this is the entire histogram. Okay, so this is how you can generate histograms. In fact, we can also see the data in the form of text tables. So let me show you the requirements for the text table representation. You have to bring one or more dimensions and one or more measures. So for dimension purpose, I'm taking a category into columns. Just drag and drop. And for the purpose of measure, I'm taking discount into rows. Now the same thing you can visualize with the help of text table representation here. Okay, and also you can click on highlight tables representation, where you will see this representation clearly. Okay, now let us consider generating maps in Tableau. So just hover here and see symbol maps. So you can generate symbol maps by taking one geographical dimension, 0 or more other dimensions, and 0 to 2 measures. Okay, so similarly this is maps where you have to consider one geometric dimension, 0 or more dimensions normal, and 0 or 1 measure. So overall I'll take for example one geographical dimension and one measure, for example. So one geographical dimension, I'll take this here, and one measure, and I'll click on this sheet. Okay, so that will generate symbol maps. Okay, so you just see here this is representing Germany country and its corresponding sales. Okay, and this is Austria country and its corresponding sales. Okay, So if you want, you can also zoom here and you can also zoom out. So for example, if I want to see these details in different color, okay, then you have to just bring this country onto color and it will automatically assign a different color for each of this country. Yes or no? And the corresponding will also be shown here. Okay, you can see what are the different countries and their corresponding sales. Everything is shown here on the right side. Now for example, I want to see corresponding profit, discount, quantity also. Then you just need to bring this details here, like bring this into this detail, and then bring profit also onto detail, and also bring quantity onto detail. Okay. So then when you hover on this, that will show you country name, discount, profit, quantity, sales, everything. Okay. So this is how you can actually represent a corresponding symbol maps for this problem statement. Now let us click on this maps. Okay. So you can also just zoom here to see more details of different countries, and the similar details are showing here, but this is a different representation. Okay, compared to the previous one. Okay, the previous one is just symbol maps and this one is maps. Okay, so when you want to assign a different color for each of this country, then you just need to bring this country onto color. Okay, just like that. Okay, you can see now all these countries are having different colors. Yes or no? Now let us create heat maps. So in order to generate heat maps, you have to take one or more dimensions and one or two measures. So let us suppose I'll take two dimensions and two measures. So two dimensions are, for example, I'll take category and also subcategory. And two measures are, one is sales, the other one is profit. So once you get this, you click on this heat map. So that will clearly show you, okay, what is the subcategory under each category and their corresponding profit and sales representation. Okay. For example, you want to see completely different colors based on the subcategories. Okay. Just place this subcategory onto colors. You will observe different colors for each of the subcategory. Yes or no? Just when you hover on this, that will show you the subcategory and also its corresponding profit. Okay. So let us suppose you want to see the details of sales also along with the profit. Then you just need to bring sales into detail. So that will show you the sales details also. Okay. Suppose you want to see the corresponding quantity details and discount details, then you have to bring quantity also into detail as well as discount also into detail. So then you just hover on this, it will show you complete details of category, subcategory, discount, profit, quantity, sales. Okay, all these things. And if you observe, each of the subcategory is denoted with a different color. Okay, so this is how you will get heat maps. Okay, and you can actually drag like this. Okay, for example, if I try to go for a different representation, okay, because for heat maps you can also take one dimension and one measure, in fact. So I'll take one dimension is directly a segment into columns. Okay, and I'll drag this sales into rows. Now I'll click on this heat maps. So you can observe here there are three segments available. One is consumer, second one is corporate, and third one is home office. Again, to assign different colors for each of this segment, you just need to bring this segment onto color. Okay, just bring here. So immediately it will show you different colors for each of the segment. Okay, so like this you can easily generate this type of heat maps from Tableau. Now let us work on the given project. So first we are asked to create a dashboard and then story for Olympic athletes dataset. So very first graph or chart that you need to create is a horizontal bar chart, which will display the bronze medals obtained by each country. Okay, so you have to consider the countries which have obtained the bronze medals. Okay, you should not consider if a country has got 0 bronze medals, you are not going to show it. Okay, similarly you have to create a packed bubble chart which will display the gold medals obtained by each country. So this is in another chart, okay, or another sheet. And then you have to create a map which will display the silver medals obtained by each country in separate sheet. And in the fourth sheet, you have to construct a tree map that will display the total medals obtained by each country. Okay, so this is the given problem statement where you are asked to create a dashboard and story for the same. So let's get started. First, I'll open this Tableau and I'll connect to the corresponding data set. So the athlete data set is available in Microsoft Excel sheet. So I'll click on this and open Olympic athletes data set. So that will take me to this screen and you can see this is the entire data set. So this Olympic data set has got different columns like athlete, age, country, year, closing ceremony date, sport, gold medals, silver medals, bronze medals, total medals. These are the different columns available for this particular data set. Now if you observe most of these questions, all these four problem statements which are shown here are operating on country and medals related information. Yes or no? So it means you have to focus on country and then medals related information like gold medals, silver medals, bronze medals, total medals. Okay. So let's open the first sheet here. Okay, and also create multiple sheets because the problem statement already shows you total of 4 sheets are required. So very first sheet, what they're asking is horizontal bar chart to display bronze medals information. So which means here I'll write bronze medals. Okay, so just write bronze and you can see here bronze medals. So I'll first arrange this heading. I'll format it clearly. So let's go for font Vardhana and size as 24. Okay, I'll use the same size and same font for the remaining graphs also. Okay, apply. You have to click on apply and OK. Then you will see much bigger title. So suppose you want to assign background color. Okay, so then you just right click and click on format title. That will open this window where you have to select shading as whatever color you like you can take. For example, if you want to select this color, it will look like this. Okay, now I will also do border for this. Okay, silver border. Fine, this looks good for title. Now let's solve the problem. Okay, so the problem is we have to create a horizontal bar chart to display bronze medals obtained by each country. Okay, so bronze medals I'll take here on the rows and then country onto columns. So that is actually creating a bar chart for me. Now you have to click on horizontal bar chart. Okay. So that will produce like this. This is the entire graph they are asking. And since each and every bar is of same color, I'll take country data onto colors so that it will assign separate color for each country. Okay, just like this. And you can observe there are some countries without any bronze medals. We have to eliminate those countries. Okay, so in order to eliminate those countries from this graph, you have to apply filter concept. Yes or no? So to apply filters, bring this bronze medal onto filters. That will open up a window where you have to click on next, and here you can see the range of the bronze medals is from 0 to 3. So you have to write at least one bronze medal should be there to display on this graph. Okay, I'll apply and okay. Now you can see this has eliminated some countries which don't have any bronze medals. Okay, so this is perfect graph which is representing the task 1. Okay, that is a horizontal bar chart representation for the bronze medals which are obtained by each country. Okay, now we need to go to the next sheet, second sheet, and look at this problem statement for the second one. So we are working with gold medals this time, which are obtained by each country, and you have to display the same with the help of packed bubble chart representation. Okay, so first name this sheet as gold. Okay, and double click on this heading or title and start writing gold medals. Okay, and click on bold and select the respective font we have started using. Now select the size as 24 and make it center, apply, okay. So that will get this particular title. Now in order to have a different background color to the title and also for border, I'll format the title. Okay, so the shading we will select this color just like before, and border we just need to select border. Okay, so this looks good. Now according to the problem statement, they're asked to display the gold medals obtained by each country, and that representation is packed bubble chart representation. So let's select gold medals onto rows and then bring country onto columns. Okay, once you get this, so first check for packed bubbles. Okay, just click on this packed bubbles. Again, if you observe, each and every bubble is on the same color. So to differentiate from each country, let's bring this country onto color. Okay, so that will assign different colors to each country. Now here also we have to eliminate those countries which don't have any gold medals. Okay, so we have to show details of those countries which have only at least one gold medal. Okay, now we have to apply filter on the gold medals. So bring this here and click on next. Now the range of the gold medals is from 0 to 8. So select this as 1. At least one gold medal should be there. Okay, click on apply and OK. So that will show you the graph like this. Okay, and when I hover on this, it is clearly showing the number of gold medals obtained by each country. For example, United States has got 552 gold medals. Okay, Germany has got 223 gold medals, and so on like this. Now even if you go for the previous sheet, there also it will show the clear information of country and bronze medals information, right? Okay, Now this is about gold medals. Okay, and now let's move to the next sheet, sheet number 3. So according to the problem statement, we are asked to create a map to display the silver medals obtained by each country. Okay, remember, silver medals obtained by each country, and the type of the graph is map. Okay, so let's get started. I'll name it as silver. Okay, and here it should be silver medals. Click on bold and change the font style and also the font size. Now center it, apply, okay. Now let's format this heading first. So right click and click on format title, select shading and also change the border. Okay, so this is how it will look like. Now to solve the problem, which is to get the silver medals related information country wise, where each country should be getting at least one silver medal. So let's get this into rows and bring country onto columns. So that will show you the bar chart, but the idea is to bring the entire thing into maps. Yes or no? So they're asking you to display the entire information in map format. So you can see this is symbol maps and this is maps. So click on this maps. So that will give you the entire graph like this. And now I want to assign a separate color for each country. So bring country into color. So now you can see different countries have got different colors assigned. Okay. So here I'll bring country colors here. Got it? Yes or no? So this is how it will look like. Okay. And now after creating this, you have to apply filter here because each country should be getting at least one silver medal, right? So you have to show only those countries related data. So bring this silver medal onto the filter and next, so select here at least one should be there. Apply, okay. Now that is displaying only those countries which have at least one silver medal. Okay, in the form of a map. Now moving forward to the next sheet. Okay, so you can observe here the fourth one is we are asked to create a tree map which can display the total medals obtained by each country. Total medals obtained by each country. Okay, so you can see here total medals related information is here and for each country. So I'll bring total medals here and also each country here. Okay, you can see now we have to select tree maps. So this is tree maps. Click on this tree maps. Now assign a separate color for each country. So bring country onto color. So this will assign each country a different color. Got it? So now one more thing is we have to eliminate those countries which doesn't have any medal. Okay, so whose count is basically 0. In that case we have to apply filter on total medals. So bring this total medals onto filter and move to next. It will show you the range and you can see the range is already 1 because we have already filtered. Okay, so this is total medals column is already filtered. Okay, because it is having a column total medals which is having a data of at least 1. Okay, because these countries have got medals either silver or bronze or gold, then only they are considered as part of that data set. Okay, so that's why the range is automatically starting from 1 here. Okay, so apply. Okay, now you can see here we need to format the heading here. So I'll just represent here total medals. Okay, so click on bold and select the font style. Later change the font size and center it. Apply. Okay, now we will format this title by assigning a background color to the title. Okay, and also border. I'll select this border. Okay, so now totally we have 4 sheets. I'll also name sheet 4 as total medals, so I can just write total. Okay, now let us create the dashboard. You can see this icon is clearly representing new worksheet, and this icon is representing new dashboard. So I'll select the new dashboard. Okay, so that will create a dashboard like this. All you need to select is your sheets onto the dashboard. Bring sheet by sheet onto the dashboard. Okay, so just like this is one sheet, and next bring the next sheet here, for example. So this is for gold medals, and the third sheet is silver medals. So I'll bring here, and the next sheet is for total medals. I'll bring here. Okay, so all the sheets are clearly visible. Yes or no? All the sheets are clearly visible, and you can observe here even for the first sheet bronze medals there is a scroll bar where you can see the complete data, and gold medals that is clearly visible in a single view. And similarly for silver medals you can zoom and see here, and for total medals also it is clearly visible. And on the right side it clearly shows you the countries, list of countries which are shown here. Suppose I don't want all the country related data. For example, I want only the list of details from United States. Okay, you just need to click on United States. That will highlight only United States related information. So you can observe here United States. Okay, so the number of bronze medals is 320. Green color is assigned in each and every graph. Okay, and again if you hover on the gold medals, it is showing 552 gold medals for United States. Then if you hover here, okay, and currently this is not showing silver medals. For this what you can do is you can go back to the silver corresponding graph and bring these silver medals onto details. Okay, so that will show you here, which means that will be immediately reflected back to the dashboard. So now if you hover here, that will show silver medals information 440, and then comes the total medals. If you hover on the United States, the total medals is 1312, which is sum of bronze medals, gold medals and silver medals. Okay, similarly if you want to select for one particular country like Japan, okay, that will show you the details of Japan. Okay, and if I press on control in the keyboard, okay, and if I select another country, that will show you both these countries. You can see Japan and Kenya. For example, if I want more countries like Malaysia also, New Zealand also, Netherlands also, so you just need to keep or press control button and select these countries like Qatar, South Africa, Thailand, okay, United States, Israel, India, like this. So whenever you select a country, so that will be highlighted here. Okay, and when you hover on it, it will clearly show you that information. Okay, yes or no? So if you just click outside, that will definitely show you the complete data. Okay, so where I'll just undo this. Okay, just like this. Now we are back to this original dashboard. Yes or no? So this is how it will show you the entire dashboard. Now if you want to create a story here, you just need to select on story, new story. Okay, you just click on this new story. That will create like this. You just need to drag the sheets here. Bronze sheet, drag here. Then you have to just add one more, like gold. Okay, so that will create another sheet. Next, silver. So this is for total. Okay, now you can write a caption here. So the first is bronze, second one is gold, third one is silver, and the fourth one is total. Okay, now if you click on this presentation button, okay, so that will be showing the complete story where you can tell the story to explain these graphs clearly. Okay, so starting from here, this is story one related to bronze medals obtained in Olympics. Next, gold medals related data, then silver medals related data, then followed by total medals data country wise. Okay, so this is how you can create dashboard as well as story using Tableau. Okay, next one is Matplotlib in Python. So mainly Matplotlib is used for visualization purpose. Why? Because every developer can understand data well when you visualize the data. Okay, so the perfect form of representing any data so that any developer can understand is through plotting graphs. Okay, so which will enhance the visualization. Okay, now when the graphs are properly plotted, then they will obviously give you clear insights into the data, which is demonstrating different approaches. Okay, mainly these plots are also known as charts. Okay, and they are mainly used for visualization purpose. Now, what are different types of plots? There are different types of plots like line plot, bar plot, scatter plot, pie plot, area plot, and histogram plot. And these are all most commonly used plots when you come to Matplotlib. Line plot is mainly plotting a line across XY axis, and bar plot you will see rectangular boxes in the bar plot. And if you go for scatter plot, the points will be scattered across this graph. And pie plot is a kind of a circular graph where you will represent data within the components or segments, or you can also call it as slices of pie. And then comes the area plot. Area plot is spread across certain areas where you will see some highs and lows. So they are also known as stack plots. Okay, and last, histogram plot. So here you will see the data remain distributed, whereas if you go for bar graph, okay, so you go for two entities to be compared in case of bar graph. Both histogram and bar plot look similar, okay, but they are used in different scenarios. Okay, so we'll explore all these types of graphs by implementing hands-on in Matplotlib. Yes, sir. Welcome to Matplotlib, and now we are looking at your first graph. So let's try to plot a graph using Matplotlib in Python. So in order to plot any graph, you require axis, right? So for example, if you are trying to plot a two-dimensional graph, you require x-axis and y-axis. Their corresponding data should be initialized. So the very first step here is to initialize the data of x-axis and y-axis. So first consider an example here. Let us suppose a student has attempted multiple semesters and this course in each of the semester, we can consider percentage of marks obtained by the student in various semesters, like 5 semesters are like this. For example, 85, 87, 83, 86 and 85 again. So I'm considering the number of semester as x-axis representation, and the marks or percentage of marks obtained in each semester is indicated with the help of y-axis. Now the very next step is to plot this particular data. So next step is plotting the data. So in order to plot, we have to make use of plot function here. So plt dot plot, okay, of, so the x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, now after plotting this data, we need title of this particular graph. So let us start adding the title. The next step is to add the title to the graph. So there is a function called title function, okay, which you can use here to just basically give the name of the title. Okay, if you are giving only name of the title, then one parameter is sufficient. So I'll call it as performance report. Okay, so performance report of the student. And also one more thing, we can add x-axis name as, or I can say the label can be given to the x-axis which is representing the semester number, and y-axis also deserves a label name, and which you can consider it as percentage of marks. So let us quickly assign the label names. Okay, adding the labels, where I'll add a plt dot x label. Okay, so here the x label is percentage of marks is for y label here. Okay, so because I have taken all percentage of marks in the y-axis, so for x-axis I'll take semester number. Okay, so x label as semester number. Okay, and finally, to show this particular labels and the entire graph, okay, so I'll go for plt dot show. Okay, so let's run this code and you will see this plot here. So can you see this plot clearly? It is representing the performance report, which is the title of the graph is clearly specified here, representing the performance report. Okay, and coming to the x-axis label, it is representing the semester number, and y-axis label is representing the percentage of marks obtained. Now, when you start plotting between the x-axis and y-axis, you can observe exactly there are 5 data points. So first semester, second semester, third semester, fourth semester, and fifth semester. And you can observe how this percentage of marks obtained by the student is varying over the 5 semesters. So first it has increased from 85 to 87, and then it has decreased from 87 to 83. Then again it has increased from 83 to 86, and later again it is decreased from 86 to 85. So the same curve is shown here. This is how you can generate a sample plot using Matplotlib. Now, if you look at this example, which we have already executed, and it is clearly plotting a line graph. Yes or no? This is plotting a line graph. For example, if I want to visualize this same data, but with a different chart, let us suppose I want to visualize using a bar chart representation, then you just need to modify here to bar. Okay, plt dot bar of x comma y. Now when you run this code, you will see this as the bar chart, isn't it? So everything is similar. Initializing the data, adding the title, adding the labels. So I haven't touched these sections. Just I have modified plt dot plot of x comma y as plt dot bar of x comma y. So where immediately I have obtained bar chart instead of line chart. Okay, so this is how it will work. For example, if I start changing the data, okay, then you will see difference. For example, the student has got 95 percentage in the third semester, okay, and 67 percentage in the second semester, and 56 percentage in the fourth semester, okay, and then 73 percentage in the fifth semester. Now if I execute, then you will see there is a change in data, and that is immediately getting reflected in the bars of the bar graph. So let's see here. You can see here immediately there is a change in the graph because the y-axis content is modified. The same thing is clearly reflected in the bar graph. Okay, so it's very simple to generate any graph in Python with the help of Matplotlib. Now this is the bar graph, right? Let us suppose I want to generate a scatter graph or scatter chart. So in that case, you are going to use the same data, okay, and also adding title, adding labels, everything is same, except instead of plotting the bar graph, I'll go for scatter plot. So let's run this code and see the result. Immediately the resultant graph is going to be scatter chart. Okay, so you can observe these data points clearly explain the y-axis corresponding content. You can see in the very first semester it is 85, in the second semester it is at 67, in the third semester it is at 95, in the fourth semester it is at 56, and in the fifth semester it is at 73. So this is how you can represent a scatter chart. So next one is histogram graph. In Python, using Matplotlib, you can also generate this type of histograms. But only the thing is, the first parameter of this histogram graph is x-axis, and second one is representing bins. So bins is generally an integer which will actually define the number of equal width bins or equal width intervals in the range. Okay, so you can see here this should be always monotonically in the increasing order. For example, if I run this code, I'll get result like this. Suppose if I'm trying to decrease somewhere here, then you will see this error. Bins must increase monotonically when an array. So this sequence or pattern should always be in the increasing order. Okay. Because Python generally chooses this number of bins in the histogram based on the square root rule. Okay. So which means it chooses the number of bins to be the square root of number of samples. Okay. So this is how you can explicitly assign bins in the monotonically increasing order of the array. Okay. So here it is representing the title, and then we are assigning legend. So this is how you can actually assign legend also in any graph. So adding legends is simple. Just with the help of legend function, you specify the name of the legend. So then this will be represented like this. Okay. And then finally we are showing this particular histogram graph. So next one is displaying pie chart using Matplotlib. And if you look at this example, x is taken as 1, 2, 3, 4, and e is equal to 0 0.1, comma 0, comma 0, comma 0. So this actually represents how this particular first wedge is going to separate from the chart. Okay. So I have taken 0 0.1, that's why a slight separation of the first wedge is there. Let us suppose if I am trying to take this as 0 0.3 for example, then you will see a larger separation of the wedge happening here because I have taken value as 0 0.3. And for remaining, I have taken zeros, so there is no separation. If you are trying to take this also as 0 0.1, then you will see the difference. This is also getting separated. And for example, this is also taken as 0 0.2. Then in this case, this is also getting separated. For example, finally, I am taking this as 0 0.5. Then there is a huge move of this red color one. Okay. Yes or no? So, but the moment you are taking everything as zeros, then you will see it is properly represented in the form of a pie chart. Okay. But whenever you want to separate one particular wedge from the chart, you can specify accordingly. Let's suppose in this case, I want to separate the green color wedge. So, which is 3, and I'll specify here 0 0.1, and I'll run this code. You will see here. Okay. So E actually represents explode. Okay. And this is how you can represent a pie chart. Very simple. The name of the function is pie, where the first coordinate is x and second coordinate is explode E, which we have already specified here. Okay. And here we are specifying the title. Okay. And then finally show this particular plot. In this example, I'll show you how to create 3D plots. So first, directly you just need to import this matplotlib.pyplot. So I'll call it as PLT. Now, in order to create the figure object, I'll create fig, which is an object for the figure. Okay. And later we require the projection as 3D projection. Okay, because we are trying to plot a 3D graph. Okay, so to make the projection as 3D projection, you have to consider an object for axis. Okay, where set this projection as 3D, projection equal to 3D. Okay, so let's run this code and see the result. you can see here clearly there is a 3D projection available. Okay, but this is just a 3D projection and it doesn't show any graph inside it. Now consider this example where you can see the line graph inside this 3D plot. So we have already generated 3D plot with the help of these lines, isn't it? So, but later we have taken XYZ axis and we are projecting this XYZ axis inside this 3D plot. Okay, and this is the resultant output. Okay, in this section we'll be going through Seaborn and plotting graphs using Seaborn. So first understand what is this Seaborn. Seaborn is also a Python visualization library and which is built upon this Matplotlib. And the difference between Matplotlib and Seaborn is using Seaborn you can actually create much more attractive and informative graphics with the help of this particular library. So let's see. First, in order to work with Seaborn, you just need to import the respective libraries. So the library which is associated with Seaborn is Seaborn itself. So you have to import Seaborn. And also, since Seaborn is built upon Matplotlib, you import Matplotlib also. At the same time, to feed the data to x-axis and y-axis, you might be working with numpy arrays or taking a data frame in pandas. So let's import those libraries also. And now let us see how to load the data set from the CSV file. Okay, so you can actually download that CSV file, tips.csv file, and after downloading it, you just need to load the data set by specifying the respective file name, which is tips. So seaborn dot load underscore dataset of tips. This will actually load the dataset tips and store it inside a data frame df. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to see what are the top 5 rows or first 5 rows in the dataset, then we have a command called df.head. So using which you can obtain the first 5 rows in the entire dataset. You can also cross check the first 5 rows with the CSV file, that is tips.csv file, and these are the exact first 5 rows that are stored in that CSV file. Next one is similarly, if you want to obtain the last 5 rows in the data set, you can use df.tail command, so which will give you this last 5 rows. There are exactly 244 rows in that file, and it is starting from 0 index, so you can observe up to 243. So the last 5 rows will be like this. Okay. To work with Seaborn library and in order to plot various graphs like swarm plot, violin plot, facet grids, heat map, we are using this particular data set, which is a tips.csv. You can actually download this data set and it is already uploaded in the resources. So this has got various columns, like 7 columns are there. It's mainly the data related to tips in the restaurant. So this is representing, first column is representing the total bill, second column is representing tip, and third column is representing sex, fourth column is representing smoker, and fifth column is representing day, sixth column is representing time, and seventh column is representing size. So you can see here these are the first 5 columns, 5 rows in this particular table. If you are trying to perform operation like df dot head, you have to obtain these particular rows, first 5 rows. Similarly, if you're trying to perform df dot tail, you have to get last 5 rows in this particular table. So last 5 rows are from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the entire table. So if you look at this data set, the sex column has got two categories. One is male, the other one is female, and this information will be helpful while plotting graphs. And another one is last but one column, which is time, and it has got two categories. It can be dinner or lunch. Okay, these are the two different categories in this particular column. And one more thing is another column, day, has got different categories like Sunday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday. These are the 4 days that are available in this particular column. Okay, so remember this data while plotting graphs, it will be very helpful. Okay, and you can download this and start doing parallelly. Okay, now we'll discuss about swarm plot, and this plot is similar to scatter plot, where it is mainly used to represent category wise values in the plot. So in order to plot this, we have a method called swarm plot inside cburn. So this can be useful to create swarm plots here. Let us see an example. So look at this. We are trying to generate swarm plot where x-axis is representing day and y-axis is representing tip, and we are taking for data from df. Okay, so which we have already loaded tips.csv into df. Now this particular style is white grid, and we are showing the entire plot. Let's see the result here. So this is representing the corresponding output for the same code. You can observe here, since x-axis is representing day, you can observe Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, these are day wise, and y-axis is representing tip. So this is clearly plotting day wise tips. Okay, which is from the tips.csv file, and the grid is completely white grid. Okay, now let us see the next one. In this example, we are considering x-axis as tip, and the style is dark grid. So you can observe this is the corresponding result, where the dark grid is the set style, and x is representing tips. Okay, and you can also keep your own colors for representing one particular type of, or one particular category of data. So in our example, we have gender palette. Okay, so where to represent male, I am using one particular color, and to represent female, I'm using another color. Okay, so later I'm plotting this swarm plot based on the palette, which is containing two different colors, one for representing male, the other for representing female. And the x-axis for this plot is day, y-axis is tip, and you can observe what we are trying to differentiate is based on the column called sex, and it contains female male representation, and the data is clearly taken from df, and df contains a loaded data set from tips.csv. Now we are showing the entire graph. Let's see the graph. So for the same code which we have discussed, this is the corresponding result. So since we are taking clearly y, okay, y axis to represent the tip and x axis to represent day wise, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And since we have taken different colors for representing male and female, so male is represented with violet color and female is represented with orange color. So this is the corresponding result. You can see male corresponding tips day wise and female corresponding tips day wise is represented like this. Now we'll discuss about violin plot. Whenever you have numerical data which you want to represent in statistical representation, and the box plot or violin plot can be used. Okay, so especially you can prefer violin plot if you want to see clear density on each side. Let us discuss with an example. Here I'm using x axis as tip. Okay, I'm loading x axis as tip, and the color used to represent the entire data for tip is gold color, and I'm plotting violin plot with the help of Seaborn. Okay, and then finally showing it. You can see the corresponding result will look like this. A clear density is shown. And now consider x-axis and y-axis, where x-axis is representing sex. So we have two categories. One is male, the other one is female. That's why you can see here in the x-axis, this is male and this is plot for female. And y-axis is representing total bill column from the data frame. So total bill is represented clearly on the y-axis here. And the category wise you can observe this is male category and this is female category and corresponding total bill. So finally we are showing it and the corresponding result looks like this. Now we'll discuss about how to plot facet grids in Seaborn. So whenever you have different categorical data to be plotted, which contains rows, columns, and hue dimensions of the grid, so you can go for this facet grid representation. Now consider this code where I'm taking Seaborn.facet grid to plot this facet grid. And here, what is column representing? Column is equal to time and row is representing sex. So there are two categories for this column representation because the time can be lunch time or dinner time. And similarly for row representation, which is sex, is of two types. One is female, the other one is male. So these two categories, you can see column has got two categories and row also has got two categories. 2 into 2 is equal to 4 combinations you will get. So you can observe here sex is equal to male and time is equal to lunch. This is the respective facet grid. And similarly the other one is sex is equal to male and time is equal to dinner. This is another. So overall you can observe here this combination, third combination is for sex is equal to female and time is equal to lunch, and fourth combination is sex is equal to female, time is equal to dinner. So totally 4 combinations because column has got 2 categories and row has got 2 categories. 2 into 2 is equal to 4 combinations we got. And to represent this data, we are using color is equal to tomato. That's why the grid color, you can observe it is this particular histogram is plotted with tomato color. Okay. Next, you can also change the type of the plot. So previously you are plotting a histogram inside this particular facet grids. Now here I'm trying to plot scatter graph inside this facet grids. Okay. So again everything is same. Column is time, row is sex, but only the difference is I'm plotting the scatter graph inside these grids, and also the color to just represent this scatter circles is floral white and the edge color is hot pink. So that's why you can observe every tiny circle is having a floral white color with edge color representing hot pink. Okay, and again the combinations are same, total 4 combinations, because column is time and row is x. Each of this is having 2 combinations or 2 categories, so 2 into 2 is equal to 4. Okay, now similarly consider here total bill and tip. Okay, so I'm considering here total bill on the row, or I can say x-axis, and y-axis is representing tip here. Okay, so within this, all these dots are corresponding to male, female. Okay, because hue is specified as x, so it contains 2 categories, male and female. Okay, and the time is, we are considering the column as time. It has got 2 categories, time equal to lunch and time equal to dinner. So that's why overall you will get here 2 plots, one for time equal to lunch, the other for time equal to dinner. In both these graphs you will see the row or x-axis is representing total bill and y-axis is representing tip. Okay, next one is heat map. Mainly we use these heat maps to visualize graphically the representation of matrix data. So this heat map function can be used from Seaborn to do this type of graphical representations. So consider here uniform data is equal to np.random.rand of 5, 3. So this is going to create a matrix which is of order 5 by 3. There will be 5 rows and 3 columns. And you can observe all this data is obtained in the range of 0 to 1. Okay. And I'm printing this uniform data. It will obtain the corresponding result like this. Okay. So this is going to create a matrix of size 5 by 3, which means there will be 5 rows and 3 columns. And each element is obtained in the range of 0 to 1. Okay. Now the same matrix, if I want to represent with the help of graphical representation, I can go for heat map representation where colors will be assigned to each of this data in the matrix. You can see the same uniform data is given as input to the heat map. So this is the corresponding result that is obtained here on the right side. You can see each and every data, it is clearly representing 5 by 3 matrix, right? This is the first element in the matrix, second element, third element. This is the entire first row. Similarly, we have got how many rows? 5 rows and 3 columns. So this is the heat map representation of that data.
Imagine a world where education transcends boundaries, where every aspiring tech leader has access to high-quality training tailored to industry needs. We aim to bridge the gap between academia and real-world skills, forging partnerships with educational institutions and tech giants. Our mission is not just to teach, but to inspire innovation, creating a workforce ready to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. This is about revolutionizing learning, making it a lifelong journey that evolves with the digital landscape. Together, we can empower the next generation to not only succeed, but to lead in an ever-changing global market. Ultimately, our vision is to be a catalyst for change in the education sector, making learning a continuous, lifelong journey that adapts to the evolving demands of the digital age. Through this, we aim to contribute to the development of a more knowledgeable, skilled, and empowered global workforce.